What's going on YouTube? My name is Ruff and today we're going to take this song and we're going to turn it into this. Put your hands in the holes of my sweater. Alright, cool. So first thing we need is some chords. Since I've pitched the vocal to go down to D major, we're going to write the chords in D major in a 1, 5, 2, 3 progression, and that looks like this. But I want to save those big piano sounds for the chorus and build up. So for the verses, we're just going to do like an 80s Juno pad, and that's going to sound like this. And then underneath, we're going to layer a filtered saw wave, and that's what it sounds like all together. But to create some atmosphere, we're going to have a piano with a ton of reverb playing the 5th note, just repeating throughout the whole verse, and that's going to sound like this. But we're still going to need a bit more atmosphere to fill out this verse since we only have those pads with the vocal. So we're going to add some more samples that together with the piano sound like this. So right before the pre-chorus, there's a part of the vocal where it starts to pick up a bit. So that's where I want to bring in the bass and some claps to start bringing some energy before the chorus. That's going to sound like this. And then underneath, we're going to have some strings with a filter opening up slowly to just bring a little more energy as we go into the trap drum section here. So for this trap drum section, that's where we're going to bring in an 808 alongside these trappier drums that look like this. And then with the 808, now this is the fun part, the chorus and the build with those big pianos, that's going to sound like this. So let's dissect what's going on here. So we have these big pianos here. So this is a Contact Alicia Keys layered with a Korg M1. And where that grit is really coming from is with this OTT here, jacked up a little bit, not too crazy. We got some RC20, just adding a little bit of wobble, tiny bit of distortion, some reverb and some magnetic, as well as a little bit of noise. We got some EQ here, just taking out some of these harsh frequencies. But then we layer these pianos with these pads here that sound like this, along with this electronic bass from Nexus. And it just fills out the whole frequency spectrum. So now let's dissect the drop section by section, starting with the atmosphere. So we got just a couple samples that are in the key, just, filling out those high ends that sound like this. Along with this piano, just playing the chords with a lot of reverb. And then this art, all sidechained to a 4 on the floor pattern. And this is just going to fill out the high end. Then for the drop chords, we have a combination of pianos and supersaws, just playing like a syncopated and sidechain pattern that together sound like this. Processing wise, we're just cutting out a lot of the mids on both the saws and the pianos just to make room for the leads that are going to come in and occupy that space. And we're sidechaining them using a generic compressor here. Sidechain to a ghost trigger instead of kickstart, just to get a little more tightness on the transient of the kick meshing with these chords. For the bass, we want a combination of something gritty that's going to occupy those low mids along with a powerful sub. Together they sound like this. when we break it down, the gritty bass is pretty much just a distorted super saw. And then we have another one layered an octave higher. And then the sub, we just got our basic sub, one a bit higher in the octave range, and this one's a bit lower. And this is just going to obviously fill out the low end. Because without it, now for our leads, we really want a piano to be the focus. So that's this sound here. And then we have a fake violin and two super saw-y silent leads that just kind of give it some character underneath that sound like this. With the drop. So for our drums, we have a punchy kick hitting on every single downbeat, 4 on the floor pattern. Then we have a clap and a snare hitting on every 2 and 4 with some percussion underneath and some hi-hats, fills, and shakers just to give some rhythm. That all sounds like this. But what's really going to drive the rhythm of this drop is actually a guitar from Nexus. So if you see here, we have 2 of them. Well, this one's an ambience one. And this one's a mid one. So it's just a muted clean 1 preset from Nexus, I believe. Yup. And that's just playing this rhythm here. Sidechain to the kick. And that just really makes it feel a bit faster because it's driving forward with those drums in almost a shaker-like pattern. For our effects, we just want to go with some downlifters, some white noise, some crashes, just a lot of releasing energy at the drop. So if you see here, we got, our risers that are going to transition us to the next verse. Our crashes here, we got a lot of them. And then some noise and downlifters, just sidechain releasing that energy throughout the whole drop. Alright, so now when we put everything together with the vocal on top and run it back from the start, it's going to sound like this.
All I am is a man. I want the world in my hands. I hate the beach, but I stand in California with my toes in the sand. Use the sleeves of my sweater. Let's have an adventure. Head in the clouds, but my gravity centered. Touch my neck and I'll touch yours. You and those little high-waisted shorts. Oh, she knows what I think about and what I think about. One love, 2 mouths. One love, 1 house. No shirt, no blouse, just us. You find out nothing that we don't wanna tell you about. No, 'cause it's too cold for you here and now. So let me put your hands in the holes of my sweater.
So that's the track. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if you want to see me do anything else on YouTube. I'm going to be posting videos every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So be sure to tune in, hit that subscribe button, and let's make some sick music together.